There we go.
We want to have $2,500 in our account after 5 years. So we're still using our same compound interest. This time we want our account to have $2,500 in it. The question is, how much are we going to invest? What is our p-value going to be? We know that our interest rate is 4%, so we get our 0.04, and we're compounded daily. So the question is, how many days are there in a year? 365. In a previous question, it was how many months were there in a year. Now we're talking about compounding daily, so it's the number of days in a year. N value is still the same, 365, and we're timesing this for a total of 5 years. So you could type this whole portion into your calculator as 1. Our 0.04 divided by 365 would give us a funny decimal. Look at how this says e to the negative 4. That means we go 4 decimal spots, which would put in 3 separate zeros. And 365 times 5 would give us 1825. So we want to know what this whole portion here is going to be. It's not going to be very big. But if we take our 1 plus 0.000109 and raise that to the power of 1825, that's going to give us 1.22. If we divide both sides by 1.22, we can get our p-value by itself. So we need to invest $2,049.18 for us to grow into $2,500 over this 5-year period at 4% growth, compounded daily. Now, when we talk about exponential decay, that's going to be the same idea. We have an amount. We have our initial amount that we're going to have. This would be 1 minus r to t. This is not compound interest. This is just a decay model. So, for example, if you buy a flat screen TV, it's not going to be worth the same amount when you take it out of the building. It's going to decrease by 21% every year. So we're going to write an exponential decay model that gives the value of the television after t years. So if the television costs $1,200, $1,200, and we are decreasing by 21%. We have to write that as a decimal for t years. So 1 minus 0.21 is 0.79. So that would be our equation for this type of situation. So if we want to know how much our television was worth after 2 years, we would plug a 2 into our equation for the number of years. So 1200 to the 0.79 to the second power, your television would be worth $748.92. But if we only have $300 to spend, when is the television going to be worth that $300? So we're going to use our graphing calculator. You can go over to y equals, clear out what we have, type in our equation of 1200, 0.79 to our exponent of x. And we want to know, when is this going to be 300? Now, if you look at the table first, we can decide what to change our window to. So we're going to change our window. It looks like our answer is going to be somewhere around 5. We have maximum values up at 1200, and then it'll be working its way down. Our x value will be somewhere around 5 or 6. So now we can go to window. We know that our x value is going to be less than 10, so that's fine. We need to be up around 1200 if we want to see our whole problem graphed out. So here's our 300 and our exponential decay. We want to figure out the calculation of where this lands. So as before, we had our second trace, or the calculate. We go to intersect. We're looking to see where those two graphs cross. Hit enter. It asks us for the first curve. The first curve, is this one of the equations we worked with? And of course it is. So we hit enter. The second curve. Well, it's really a linear line, but they call them all curves. So is this our second graph that we had? And of course. Then it asks us to guess where those two cross at. Well, they only cross in one spot. Guess is for if it crosses more than once. So you can just hit enter at any point. And we'd all get 5.88. So it would take about 5.88 years for us to reach the $300 mark. Okay, last couple questions. The exponential growth, the initial amount here is 6. The growth factor is our 1.017. And our percent of increase, what percent is it above 1? So we have to move the decimal spot 2 over, and we'll see that that is at 1.7%. And our last one, we have 925 is our initial amount. That's the value in front. The decay factor, how much is it dropping every time? 0.62. And at what percent decrease is that? From 100%, that is 38% decrease. 0.38 would take us up to a solid 1. So the decimal over would give us 3/8. You can finish up the U-tries on your own.